Manisha, $101 for crude. Well, it came much sooner than everyone thought.
Not really, because, you know, when this year started, we've been talking about 100 is coming, 100 is coming, and 100 just came and went. But, you know, you really have to keep in sight the kind of views that you have from global banks and brokerages. $120, $125, $130 is the view for this quarter now. So nobody believes that the Russia-Ukraine issue will finish off in a jiffy. Well, yes, you will start living with it, but these kind of wars actually continue for years. And even more importantly, because there are just so many commodities, so many things involved right now, I want to put focus on the metal prices now, because we are talking about crude, but let's not lose sight on metals, because we have seen aluminum prices hit all-time highs. We're looking at nickel prices trading at a 10-year highs. We also are looking at gold prices trading at 13-month highs. There is safe haven buying there. But then Russia is huge in platinum. 12% of platinum comes in from Russia. We've seen prices gain up to 14-week highs there. 44% of palladium comes in from Russia, and we are looking at prices at 24-week highs there as well. Aluminum is 6% from Russia. Nickel is 10% from Russia. So Russia in that sense is really huge. Peter McGuire of XM Australia now joins us to put all of that in focus. Peter, hi. It's only metals that we want to talk about right now. And with the way aluminum is hitting an all-time highs, nickel at a 10-year highs, what is your sense? I mean, how much more further steam from here?
Well, good afternoon, Manisha. There's no doubt that there's movement to the upside. We've seen strong moves as far as aluminium, as you're saying, $3,300. I think it's got probably a $3,500 handle on it. You've got nickel running at the best part of over 25,500, so there's more momentum there. You've got to put our minds back. We had 52,000, so we're well off our all-time highs of what we saw in 2008. But that momentum to the upside, Russia, the superpower as far as its commodity superpower, and you might see a $30,000 handle for nickel. You've got very, very low inventories and a large appetite as we come out of this COVID.
And Peter, add to that the kind of whole EV story and the fact, as you said, inventories are low, the production hasn't picked up so much. So you would say everything seems to be coming out at the same time. And how much gain, how much longer, how long do you see the Russia-Ukraine conflict also going?
Well, Manisha, let's hope that I think it'll probably run for a couple of weeks, because I think there's just so many different moving parts that need to be worked through. Let's all hope that it doesn't go down a kinetic pathway. So you've got the situation as far as President Putin, we've got the understanding as far as where Biden is, and the overall themes running across Ukraine. So it's not something that's going to end tomorrow afternoon. I think it's well and truly here for probably till mid-March, maybe a fraction longer. And I think that war premium geopolitical concerns will push prices higher from here. Have a look what gold's done today. It's nearly up 40 or 50 bucks in the last matter of hours, where I was this morning. And you've got crude now bid up $5 or $6 from, 4 o'clock this morning. So it's now, 5 o'clock in the afternoon in Sydney.
Peter, was you to say all those people who, haven't respected commodities enough, today perhaps is the day of reckoning that it is time that you should have had commodities in your portfolio?
Absolutely, Manisha. We've been talking this for many years, and I put my mind back to the long-term viewpoints. This will probably go down as one of the longest super cycles in history. It's far from over. I used to spend time with Jim Rogers, and discuss commodity super cycles. He's an academic on that pathway. He understands those long cycles, the CRB index, and all of the data that go back for literally, a century or two. This one's going to run well and truly to the mid-35 to, if not 2040. So we're only halfway through global consumption, and I can't see that storyline changing anytime soon. It's going to be onward and upward for commodities and their demand picture.
Yeah. All right, so commodity super cycle that can go on to 2035, if not 2040. Rima, you want to talk about crude, but this is such an important point right now.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering, where are the shale gas producers, right? Higher crude prices should be a cure for higher prices. At some point of time, the shale gas producers, which had dominated the supply for the last 5 or 6 years, will come in, incentivized by the higher prices, and that should bring in higher supplies, capping the price of crude.
102.
102 now. It's climbing with every tick, every hour, as Peter pointed out. In the last few hours, it's gone up by $4 or $5 per barrel. But so, Peter, just over the medium term, there are two variables that we track to understand the supply of crude prices. One, shale gas producers, where are they? Do they come in at some point of time and increase the supply? And secondly, on the Iran deal, Is it really in the price right now? Should we expect it to happen?
Well, the first up, as far as I'll answer Iran first, yes, we've got to work through that and just see where Biden and the whole tapestry of that arrangement materialises. No one really knows, and this is a work in progress. We're going to see something, I would say, by maybe tomorrow or early next week, some sort of something set in stone, or at least put a lot of people's minds at ease, because from a supply side, the next part is, as far as the crude producers in the state's shale, yeah, you know, you start getting up to $100 a barrel. These guys are pulling it out of the ground for low 40s, if not high 30s. You've got a strong US dollar. There's a very strong urgency for these guys to get re-engaged. So, you know, every dollar that it goes up, the dollar's going straight to the back pocket for these crude producers as far as shale in the States.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just a matter of time. But, you know, with 5.5% of gains, and all of my January went asking my guest, when is 100 coming? When is 100 coming?
What's
is
the
100
new target
coming?
that you're setting? What's the new question that you're asking? When is 110 coming? 120?
I think I'm not asking. I'm not putting a value there. But, Peter, what is the resistance? What is the range now for crude prices? You said the Russia-Ukraine conflict could go on until mid-March or beyond. Until then, it's still 15, 20 days, and that could really wreak havoc in many of these markets.
Absolutely, Manisha. I mean, there's every chance. You get momentum on here and you get the traders involved and a big push to the upside and further uncertainty from a geopolitical stance. And if, say something unforeseen happens and Russia comes to the part and says, well, look, we're going to pull back supply, that creates massive headaches across that whole OPEC plus framework. So, yeah, 110, 115 is very possible. It's all pie in the sky, but I've lived through this many times, you know, and I run through to 148 in early July 2008, which is 14 years ago, Manisha. Let's just hope that it doesn't get anywhere near that. But, yeah, maybe a 105 to 115 has got the capacity, and I think it'll probably get there quickly.